New Central now at this hour begins with developments on the suspension of Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, as we understand that the senator has alleged that Nigerian security officials are planning to arrest her upon her return to Nigeria. Now, according to news reports online, she revealed concerns over her participation in the Interparliamentary Union meeting in New York on March 11. Akpoti-Uduaghan spoke out about her Senate suspension and allegations of sexual harassment against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Reports suggest that Nigeria security agencies, including the SSS and NIA, are investigating how she attended the IPU meeting without official approval. The IPU has vowed to investigate her claims, but will also hear the Nigerian Senate's response. To discuss this, we're joined by Haya King, human rights advocate. Thank you so much for joining us on the news, Haya.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here once more to talk on issues concerning Nigeria.
It's a pleasure. Now, speak to us. What are the human rights implications of Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's alleged planned arrest, especially in relation to freedom of speech and political participation?
Well, it's very, very sad. All over the world, you will agree with me, or if you don't know, I am telling you that government is actually the highest violators of human rights. If you look at the cases that we have filed in court, if you have 1,000 cases, 70–80% of them is actually against government, police, army, navy, those in government, governors, senators. That's actually what is also playing out here. If you look at the Nigerian Constitution, talking about Section 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 40, 41, 42, it talks about the protection of human rights. And I don't know why Senator Natasha attending the IPU, that is Interparliamentary Union in New York, should be a problem, because I know that legally speaking, she is permitted to attend such meetings. Otherwise, somebody like me now, higher thing, I just wake up and the day they're having that meeting, I go to the gate, they won't allow me entrance. It is because she's a senator. It's Interparliamentary Union. It means it's a union where you have parliament members from all over the world. They are in the Union of Parliament. That is countries' parliament. That is what it should be. A union of countries' parliament. I think in the first place, that is why she was able to be given audience to attend that meeting. Yes. Whether she was a delegate or not, I don't know. But I know that protocol-wise, talking about protocol, law, legally speaking, an ordinary person that is not a parliamentarian, either you're not a member of the Senate or House of Representatives, or that of Kenya or any other country, US, you cannot just walk into that union. Maybe she has attended that union before. Maybe she knows her legal rights. And also, the organizers may have also looked at the law, and that was why they allowed her to enter there and address them.
Okay,
so
but what about international law? How does the international law view the alleged attempt to forcibly remove a Nigerian senator from a UN event? What legal protections could she have in such a setting?
Yeah, she's actually protected by the international treaties and agreements, treaties that Nigeria went into. Like I was saying, first and foremost, she must have been there legally speaking, for she to be allowed to address the parliament, to address the union. If otherwise, she will not in the first place be allowed to get to the gate. I don't see how they will allow me, no matter the complaint I have, to get to that gate, to be able to gain access, because I know that internationally they have protocols and all that. So legally speaking, she is protected. That is also why from the news we are getting, they try to protect her when Nigerians try to abduct her from that meeting or throw her out of that meeting or remove her from that meeting. From what she said, they were prevented. So that is to say, internationally speaking, legally speaking, following international protocols and laws, she was protected. She was legally supposed to be in that meeting. That was why they came to her aid. That was why they came to make sure she does not, she's not removed. They don't embarrass her, because if they do that, she can turn around and sue them for neglecting or ignoring her rights. I think that was why they did not allow that to happen in United States of America's soil. They never allowed that breach. They never allowed that violation to take place there. That was why they tried to prevent them from abducting
all right, now
her.
let's hear your thoughts on this, Haya. What precedent, does her suspension and subsequent allegations set for women in politics and also whistleblowers in Nigeria?
It's actually a very dangerous one. Actually, a very dangerous one. Let me repeat my favorite quote about Nigerian politicians. They don't do what is constitutional. They don't do what is right. They don't do what is legal. They don't do what is moral. They don't do what is right generally. Only what they do is what is political. And most of the time, what is political in Nigerian parlance or for the Nigerian politician is against the law. It's against the constitution. It's against moral. It's illegal. That is what they do. They don't do anything that is good. They do only the things that are political, which is always against the law. So going forward, it will actually try to muzzle free speech. It will actually try to accept the women. So this is a time for the women to get up. I expect the women all over the world, in Nigeria, to go back to Beijing 1993. You remember Beijing Women's Conference, where the rights of women was started for the first time. So women should get up. But unfortunately, I hear that it was actually a woman from the House of Representatives that led or was part of the Nigeria delegation to the IPU, that is the Inter-Parliamentary Union, that tried to counter her. A woman, unfortunately. Okay. So women should wake up.
All right, now we've spoken about gender on one, part, but then if security agencies are investigating her attendance at the IPU meeting, does this suggest a broader crackdown on dissenting voices within the Nigerian government?
Exactly, that is what it is. That's actually what it is. That's why the women should wake up. I expect the women to protest this time naked. They should protest naked. They should attack their rights. Beijing conference should now let them use this to after the Beijing conference of 1993, that 32 years later, they should reawaken, they should reaffirm, they should reassert Beijing conference, resolution. They should do that right now, because this will actually muzzle not just the women, but opposition, whistle blowers. I mean, why shouldn't somebody talk? We have, like I said, Nigerian politicians, they do what is political, which is illegal, against the constitution and all that and all that. Otherwise, we have had several persons, several senators that were illegally or unjustly suspended from the Senate. And the court, up to Supreme Court, said it was illegal. And yet they are going to do the same thing again. Omar Adede case is there. Dino Malayo case is there. And several others were unjustly removed from the Senate by calling it suspension. And the court in Nigeria said it is not right. And they are going to do the same thing again. You know when we have laws and courts, is so that people will not do that thing. People will not do that. Whatever the law has legislated against, that they should not do it. That is why the law is there. That is why the courts are there. But yes, even when you pronounce on them, they will still do it again. You will start all over again to litigate on them. Otherwise, things like this ought not to happen again, because there are precedents, there are state laws, there are laws that says you cannot suspend an elected senator. You did not elect him. He came there. I heard her that day saying that we are equal. We are all senators. It's just that you are the president. It doesn't make you anything superior to the other. The same thing Akpabio said when Akpabio had issue with Araki. If you remember, Akpabio said, we are all senators. You are not bigger than me. Today, he's doing the same thing that was said to him.
Sadly, we'd actually have to wrap up here, but thank you so much for speaking to us on this.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
In the same vein, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has sued Senate President Godswill Akpabio over the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja, the suit challenges the 6-month suspension, calling it patently unlawful and a violation of her fundamental rights. Serap argues the suspension deprives her constituents of representation and is an attack on free speech. The group seeks a court order to reinstate Akpoti-Uduaghan and prevent further disciplinary actions against her. The senator was suspended for allegedly speaking without permission and refusing a new seat in the chamber. No hearing date has been set. Let's now head to Rivers State, where the House of Assembly has accused Governor Siminalayi Fubara of frustrating the Supreme Court's directive to represent the 2025 appropriation bill. Assembly spokesperson Dr. Enemi George says the governor failed to follow due process and has been misleading the public. George challenges Fubara to produce an acknowledged copy of the letter he claimed to have sent to the Assembly. He also alleges that House staff delivering official letters were assaulted at Government House. Now, George insists the governor is obstructing governance and warns that his actions would harm Rivers residents. The Assembly urges the public to demand that Fubara comply with the law and prioritize the state's welfare. In the meantime, a political analyst, Mahmoud Jega, says Rivers State Chief Judge Justice Simeon Amadi is the main obstacle preventing the State Assembly from impeaching Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Speaking on a television, Jega claimed lawmakers loyal to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike are setting traps for Fubara to justify his removal. The lawmakers, led by Martin Amaule, recently won a Supreme Court case restoring their legislative powers. On Thursday, they locked the governor out of the Assembly, citing lack of notice for his budget presentation. Jega warned that the lawmakers are now targeting Justice Amadi, who they accuse of falsifying his age to clear the path for impeachment proceedings. Earlier, a lawyer and public affairs analyst, Towo Oseruoja, spoke to us on this development.
And from all indication, I don't think there is any ground for impeachment as it is now, except to look at it politically, not legally. The Constitution states grounds upon which a governor can be impeached in Rivers State. And you could recall that immediately the Supreme Court judgment was issued or was delivered, in less than 24 hours, the State House of Assembly issued an ultimatum to the governor to submit or present the budget. And the second letter again has to do with sacking of his commissioners. And from the public domain, which I believe is also, we will say they are sketching facts, the governor has made several efforts to meet or to reach out to the current Rivers State House of Assembly, and is to no avail. And at the same time, again, you could see some constitutional breach, because this is the first time in the history of Nigeria where a house can adjourn sine die. That word are basically used in the legal court, not in the legislative.
To security matters, the Nigerian army has arrested two notorious kidnappers, Bashir Mohammed and Ismail Mohammed, in Plateau State. In a statement on Sunday, the army said the operations was carried out by troops of 3 Division Operation Safe Haven on Saturday after receiving intelligence reports. Troops raided a hideout at Katume High Grounds in Bassa local government area where kidnappers were allegedly keeping victims while negotiating a ransom. One AK-47 rifle and a magazine were recovered. The suspects are in custody, making confessions to aid further operations. The army described the arrests as a major success in its ongoing efforts to combat insecurity in the region. Economic activities have picked up in Plateau State, where everyone now goes about their lawful businesses with little or no fear of molestation from any quarters. In this special report, News Central's Chizoba Nyongwe takes a look at happenings in the city of Jos that presume relative peace has been restored after many years of civil unrests in the state. Her report.
Many years in Plateau State have witnessed what people had tagged Black Days, occasioned by the violent attacks that had rocked some parts of the state, taking lives and property. Owing to joint efforts of the Nigerian military and other sister security agencies in the state, days of curfew are bygone now, even though security agencies aren't lowering their guards in their efforts to sustain the level of peace so far achieved in the state. This is the reason behind the full return of these socio-economic activities, especially here at the popular Ahmadu Bello Way, the commercial hub of the state, known for this hustling and bustling you behold here. Residents can now boast of what they commonly describe as relative peace on the plateau.
Peace on the plateau for now is relative. Haven't seen the role that the government and the security agencies have played towards ensuring that there is peace. And for now, we'll say plateau is peaceful because of the extent of a consultation, the extent of meetings, the extent of the activities they've done.
We used to have these Christian divides, Muslim divides. So where as a Muslim you can pass through, a Christian cannot pass through. Where a Christian can pass through, a Muslim cannot pass through. But all that is in the past now, you know. And there is also gradually nightlife is coming back to Plateau State because of what? The peace.
For some time now, we've experienced peace in the plateau, and it's a really good thing. It's a good thing because I can remember when every few months there's usually unrest in town and shops will have to be closed and all, but it's been a while we experienced that, and I am of the opinion that the governor is doing a really good job in that regard. Before now, tricycle operators and other local transporters within the Jos Bukuru metropolis stopped operation by 6 p.m. Today, tricycle operators seem not to have a closing time, while others continue as they wish, even at late hours of the day. Nightlife was a forgotten episode in many parts of the state, but with improved security in the state, residents now beat the economic downturn in the country to hang out and cool off after the day's stress. Some traders and even their customers didn't mince words on their thoughts on the state of peace in the state.
Plateau is a peaceful state of which I believe peace is the most paramount thing, and everybody is yearning for that peace. So also people feel when there is peace, then the business will flow. And that's why we are out to get what we can take for our stomach.
I thank God because there is peace in Plateau State. That is why I came out to hustle, because I know if I sit at home, I will not be able to get what I want. And if I need something, there's nobody that is going to help me.
I'm out by this time to look for food to eat because peace has returned back to Plateau State. Unlike before, if you come out by this kind of time, you'll be scared. You cannot be able to do anything.
It's night already, but people are still coming out as if it's daytime. Everywhere is free, peace, everywhere, both the other side and the other side, they are relating together, enjoying, sharing love with each other. So there's no problem in Plateau again.
Yeah, I will urge the security agency and the state government to pay more attention on security, because security is the watchword of any meaningful government.
With the opinions of these respondents, one may say that Plateau State has come back to the once home of peace and tourism it used to be in the past. In Plateau State, for News Central, Chizoba Anyowi.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has recovered over 365.4 billion naira and secured 4,111 convictions in 2024, according to the Commission's Executive Chairman, Ola Olukoyede. Now, speaking at the end of a 3-day retreat in Uyo, Olukoyede attributed the Commission's success to the dedication and professionalism of its staff, pledging to exceed these achievements in 2025. He emphasized the importance of integrity in the fight against corruption and assured that a revamped EFCC will emerge in the coming months. Legal expert Femi Falana, SAN, praised the EFCC's progress, while Professor Tony Iredia highlighted the need for more public involvement and correct perceptions of the Commission's work. Reactions have continued to trail the ruling of an Abuja High Court located in the Gudu area of the Federal Capital Territory, which has mandated that the Benue State Local Government Election Petitions Tribunal conclude its sitting in the federal capital. Now, this followed claims by the petitioners alleging a threat to their lives and a disruption of the court's proceedings by hoodlums who have put the lives of the tribunal members in grave danger. Justice M. Adamu of the FCT High Court in Gudu, after entertaining the plea filed by Anderson Asemota for the claimants, members of the All Progressives Congress ordered that the tribunal continue its sittings in the Federal Capital Territory, restraining members of the tribunal from relocating the sittings, including consideration of the appeals back to Benue State.
If I'm aggrieved, I should be able to go to court to ventilate my grievances. Now these people went to tribunal to ventilate their grievances. For one reason or the other, some persons do not want the tribunal to conclude the proceedings. The court has come to galvanize and to electroplate the provisions of the Constitution, to say that the tribunal, the proceeding of the tribunal is sui generis. It's time-bound. It's not like every other cases where you have forever to conduct your proceeding. They have 180 days. And it is taken into cognizance that 180 days that the court decided to say, tribunal has power. It should go ahead to conduct its proceedings here in Abuja and conclude same within the time allowed.
We are happy that even for the safety of members of our party, because what was happening in Benue, people were not safe. We were not being safe. Because for hooligans to go and block the state high court, where the tribunal was sitting with tips of sand, and then for thugs to come in and hold justice for hostages for more than 8 hours. It took the intervention of security forces for these judges to be able to leave that place with their lives. And so we are happy that this judgment is given, and we're happy that the tribunal will sit and justice will dispense.
Amnesty International has condemned the alleged threats and intimidation faced by Uche Ugwamaye, a Lagos-based National Youth Service Corps member, after she posted a viral TikTok video criticizing President Bola Tinubu's government over Nigeria's worsening economic conditions. Ugwamaye's video, which called out Tinubu's leadership and highlighted issues like inflation and poor sanitation in Lagos, led to her receiving threats from NYSC officials. Amnesty International stated that Ugwuamaye was exercising her right to peacefully express discontent, urging the government to focus on addressing the economic crisis instead of silencing critics. The incident has sparked a national debate about free speech and government attempts to suppress dissent. The Independence Awards has been recognizing individuals of outstanding achievement since the award's inception. Now, this year's ceremony saw a number of distinguished awards recipients from various sectors, but it was News Central TV's groundbreaking work in factual and fearless reporting that earned them the award. News Central correspondent Israel Eferabo reports.
The awards ceremony, which took place in the heart of Lagos, brought together key figures in media, government and business, all gathered to honor those who have made significant strides in various fields.
This
first set of awards.
occasion
First set of awards, right foods.
is so heartwarming. Heartwarming because we know the conundrum in which we are economically. Let me congratulate all those other members, the awardees. May the Almighty God ensure that this award you are taking tonight will add more value so our nation, Nigeria, will get to that level that the Almighty God has promised us.
News Central Television received the award for the fastest growing broadcast station of the year. The managing director and editor-in-chief, Mr. Kaori Akintemi, shared his thoughts on receiving the award.
From day one, we have insisted that we're not copying anybody, we're not doing anything like anyone else. We're a fit and proper news television station, and the intention is to guarantee that we cover the stories that matter. We meet and engage with communities through our town hall meetings, and we also ensure that the stories of those who feel disenfranchised, who feel unable to speak up, will become their voice.
Individuals from different walks of life, such as politics, maritime, education, and entertainment, were recognized for their efforts.
What's the reward for hard work is more work. So for us at NDDC, it just means that we just need to do a bit more. We're going to continue to do our best, put in a lot more effort to ensure that we impact positively on the people of the Niger Delta and the region itself.
It's a huge one, I must say. It will prepare him more to do more, and it's an opening for others in the field to strive for excellence. Seeing him today being awarded this prestigious award, others will be motivated to do more so that they too can follow the same stride and achieve award in future.
For us, it's an award that we are quite excited about, and it's an award that we think as well that all the effort we've put into different activities over the years is being appreciated under a very difficult circumstance.
This year's award underscores the critical role of both individuals and organizations contributing their own quota into shaping the world for the better. It's a reminder of the vital work being done, as well as an opportunity to give honor to whom it is due. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Eferobo.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Lagos state government has announced that the Independence Mekwen Bridge inbound Marina CMS route will be closed for emergency repairs from Wednesday, March 19 to Monday, May 26, 2025. The closure will affect traffic from the National Open University of Nigeria through Bonny Camp Bridge to Independence Bridge. Now, during this period, the Bonny Camp Underpass Bridge service lane will also be closed, but the service lane from Ahmadu Bello Way to Ozumbambadi Way will remain open. Motorists heading to Victoria Island and Third Mainland Bridge are advised to use alternative routes such as Ozumba Mbadiwe Avenue and Alfred Rewani Road. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, will manage traffic during this time. The issue of waste management in Abia seems to have been resolved by government and residents. Heaps of refuse that decorated the major roads and streets of Umuahia and Aba are now a thing of the past, with some measures adopted by those who see waste as wealth. Now, in recent times, the waste disappeared faster from the incinerators and the streets become cleaner. News Central's Chinwe Ugele looks at the environmental and economic benefits of waste management in the state.
While some collect used plastic and metal containers for future use, majority end up selling them to companies which either recycle or sell to other companies. Obviously, this level of cleanliness is being achieved because of the involvement of residents who do extra work of picking nylons, containers of all sorts, metals and cartons from the streets.
If we keep recycling, we are reducing the generation of new raw material, maybe by 50%, by 40%, even if it's by 10%. So we are saving energy and we are conserving the natural resources that we have.
Although Abia State government is yet to commence segregation of waste as proposed, it will not be a bad idea to involve more families in this practice of separating waste following its numerous benefits. If you have been wondering where these used empty containers and cellophanes end up, then here is one of them. At this recycling center located along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Express Road by Ohia in Umuahia, plastic containers and nylons are sorted and graded and finally tied for onward movement to other production companies.
The machine compresses this. We also have workers, some of them remove the labels, some of them remove the cap. So for this, machine compresses them, then we take them to our off-takers.
Residents and environmental experts say there are remarkable improvements on the environment.
Before, you won't pass the road without seeing waste. If you go to some of our waste dumps, you see refuse everywhere. But now I think this whole place is very clean.
And it's looking cleaner because they're bringing policies that's making it work.
This one is a private business which will require government support to continue, knowing the positive impacts it has on not just the environment of the state, but the economy of its residents.
Often we see vehicles carrying plastic and all of that out of the state. That facility is going to make sure that those people that collect that, those that are called aggregators, their products, those products we bought from them here in the state.
Experts want the government to indulge in sensitization of the public on the danger of blocking the drainages with waste.
You see this quarter, if you go, you see how dirty it is. And I'm living around here. There are a lot of mosquitoes. That place is bringing a lot of mosquitoes. If you stay in the you would not like to stay there because of mosquitoes. So I would like them to monitor how this, especially this building, how they are throwing the waste bin and all the rest.
It is possible to have a healthier society with minimal waste of the people, knowing they can earn something from their own waste. In Umuahia for News Central, Chinwe Ugele.
Away from Nigeria, the M23 rebel group backed by Rwanda has accused the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo on Sunday of trying to torpedo peace talks scheduled to take place in Angola. Now, the spokesperson for M23, Lawrence Kanyuka, claimed that recent bombings of densely populated areas using fighter jets and drones were an attempt by the DRC government to sabotage the dialogue. The allegations have not been independently verified, and the DRC government has not yet commented. The talks are set to begin on Tuesday in Luanda, following calls from Angolan President João Lourenço for a ceasefire. Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has so far resisted direct negotiations with the M23, which has made significant territorial gains in eastern DRC. Outside the African continent, despite a court order blocking the deportation, the United States sent more than 200 Venezuelans to El Salvador on Sunday. The detainees included members of the Tren de Aragua and MS-13 gangs. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele mocked the delay on social media, sharing a video of deportees arriving. The U.S. invoked a 1798 wartime law to justify the deportations despite a federal judge's ruling. The deportees were transferred to El Salvador's maximum security prison, CESAT, for detention. Now, this controversial move has raised legal concerns, with human rights groups questioning the actions of both the U.S. and El Salvador's government. Let's now bring you the latest business news.
The Nigerian Registered Insurance Brokers, NCRIB, has urged President Bola Tinubu to swiftly sign the recently passed insurance reform bill into law. NCRIB Executive Secretary Tokpe Adaramola emphasized the bill's significance, stating it would resolve conflicting regulations and enhance industry operations. He noted that the reform, which includes a recapitalization provision, will strengthen insurer solvency and foster growth. The bill reflects a rare consensus among insurance stakeholders and is expected to position the sector as a key player in Nigeria's economy. Industry leaders are optimistic about the bill's impact and await the president's final approval to implement the long-awaited reforms. PZ Cussons Nigeria's proposal to convert $34.26 million in debt into equity has been rejected after failing to secure the required 75% shareholder approval. According to a Nigerian Exchange Group filing, 663 out of 675 minority shareholders supported the move, but opposition from 12 significant shareholders prevented its passage. The plan aimed to strengthen the company's financial position by reducing debt obligations to its UK-based parent firm, PZ Cussons Holdings. However, concerns over share dilution and corporate control may have influenced the rejection. The company will now explore alternative strategies to address its financial challenges and engage stakeholders on the next steps. And outside Nigeria, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has hinted at potential bilateral trade deals following the imposition of new tariffs on major trading partners. This comes after President Donald Trump announced plans to levy a 200% tariff on European alcohol import, escalating global trade tensions. Speaking in an interview, Rubio stated that the U.S. seeks a baseline of fairness and reciprocity before engaging in negotiations. While details remain unclear, the move signals a shift toward individual trade agreements rather than multilateral pacts. The aggressive tariff strategy has rattled financial markets, raising fears of economic downturns as global trade disputes intensify. And that's a package on business news at this time. Thank you for watching. I am Perpetua Fasamipita. The news continues shortly.
Now in sports, Alexander Isak and Dan Burn lead Newcastle United to first major trophy since 1969 in Carabao Cup final on Sunday. Favour Itua has more.
And in sports, Eniola Bolaji cemented her status as the world's second-ranked para-badminton player, securing back-to-back gold medals within 2 weeks. She dominated Turkey's Alime Yildiz 2-0 in the SL3 women's final at the Spanish Para-Badminton International in Toledo. Bolaji's path to victory included wins over India's Sanjana Kumari Yildiz in an earlier round and Ukraine's Oksana Koiba in the semi-finals. The triumph follows a gold at the Spanish Para-Badminton International 2 in Victoria. Badminton Federation of Nigeria President Francis Obi hailed her as Africa's most decorated player with 12 international gold medals.
So good by winning this tournament, because this is my second time I'm going to win this tournament. So I feel so good and proud of myself. After this tournament, I want to go back and train very hard to win more tournaments and to be able to win the World Championship. My expectation now is to go to more tournaments to qualify for the World Championship, and this is going to involve more funding and support from the Commission and the Federation. And I want to thank them for being there for me always. And for the private sector too, they should please come and support me.
And now to table tennis. President of the African Table Tennis Federation, Waheed Oshodi, has commended the Tunisian Table Tennis Federation for setting a new standard in the organization of tournaments in Africa with the successful hosting of the 2025 ITTF Africa Cup in Tunis. Tunisia gave Africa a flawless execution of the tournament, which has been hailed as one of the best organized continental events this year. The quality of play, the venue, and the seamless live streaming of matches made the tournament stand out. ITTF President Petra Soling also praised the leadership of the TTTF led by Lofi Gufel. And now to cricket. Lagos, Nigeria is set to host the International Cricket Council Under-19 Men's World Cup African Qualifier from the 26th of March to the 6th of April 2025. 6 teams, Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, Tanzania, Sierra Leone, and host Nigeria, will battle for Africa's sole ticket to the World Cup. Matches will take place at the Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Oval and University of Lagos Cricket Oval, both primed for action. Nigerian Cricket Federation President Uyi Akpata expressed excitement and emphasizing the tournament's role in showcasing African cricket talent. The event opens on the 28th of March with Nigeria facing Namibia at TBS Oval, while Kenya takes on Sierra Leone at Unilag Oval. And now to football. Rivers United battled to a 2-1 away victory over El Kanemi Warriors in March day 29 of the Nigerian Premier Football League. Taufik Olani broke the deadlock in the 47th minute before Samson Obi doubled the lead in the 60th minute. Rislanu Ismail's late strike was mere consolation for the hosts. Elsewhere, Akwa United boosted their survival hopes with a 2-0 win over Shooting Stars in Uyo. League leaders Remo Stars extended their lead to 8 points with a home victory against Heartland FC. Ikorodu City were held in Lagos to a 2-2 draw by Eyimba Football Club to remain fourth. Abia Warriors edged Benin Insurance 1-0, while Kano Pillars were held 1-1 by Nasarawa United. And to wrap up sports update, Newcastle ended their 56-year trophy drought in stunning style as Dan Burn and Alexander Isak sealed a 2-1 win against Liverpool in the League Cup final on Sunday. Eddie Howe's side made history at Wembley with a superb display that left the runaway Premier League leaders shell-shocked. Burn put Newcastle ahead late in the first half, and Isak's 27th goal in all competitions doubled their lead after an interval. Federico Chiesa got one back in the closing seconds, but Newcastle held on for the first major silverware since the 1969 Intercities Fair Cup. And that wraps it up on Sports Update. I'm Favor Itwa.
And that's all at this hour. But before we go, here's another look at some of our top stories. You heard that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has alleged plot to arrest her upon her return to Nigeria. You also heard that Rivers State House of Assembly has accused Governor Siminalayi Fubara of ignoring Supreme Court order. Finally, we told you that M23 rebels have accused the government of DR Congo of attempting to torpedo peace talks. Send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan.